Hello, this is a development video for Dead Static Drive. My name's Mike Blackney, and I'm just going to talk through what's happening here on the screen. This game here, it's a comic book styled 80s themed driving horror game. I describe it a little bit as Grand Theft Cthulhu. It's really about driving through the United States, through all sorts of strange locations and trying to stop the end of the world. And what you're seeing here is I'm just driving through the first map. I'm driving through its small location in the middle of the night, and it's a diner-themed location. We want to make sure we hit all those iconic road trip notes, okay? And we're just driving outside of the town here. And that's all you need to do on a single map if there's no reason to stop. But I'm just going to drive back there, and I'll just explore. This is showing just an empty part of the environment that will soon be filled with fields and corn. And of course this is Crow's Demise, so it's filled with a crow theme. And I'm just driving past these streetlights. Here's a hitchhiker, and I'm just going to get out and have a look at the hitchhiker here. Hitchhikers in this game play the role of extra lives, but only if you find a doppelganger. So you need to find the character who matches you, otherwise they can just be someone who wants to travel to the nearby town, or they could actually be someone who could hurt you. And you can see here, this is the character just walking around by herself, but you can choose to walk through the entire game if you want, or you can drive. And so I'm just going to choose to drive because it's a bit faster. So I'll drive over to the diner here, and I'll just have a little look in the parking lot. You can see there's just someone walking around outside towards their car. Okay, but we're just going to drive over here. Here's some crows of Crow's Demise, and they'll just fly off. We'll just drive around here and park our car. Have a little bit of a look around the environment. Alright, now there's no audio at the moment, but the audio's in progress. But I'd rather turn it all off because it's better to have no audio than bad audio. Okay, here's a convertible, and again all those kind of 80s notes and late 70s as well. Now I'll run around to the front of the diner, running past that nice little red car. See some crows fly off, and we can hurt those crows, and they eventually will be able to hurt us as well. And here you can see some of the nice shading effects. I've actually taken the Unreal Engine and stripped out a lot of the physical-based rendering so that I can try and get that comic book look, and I think it's kind of starting to work well now. And here we are. I've picked up an axe, and I'm just going to meet... This is a crow person, okay? Now, immediately we can tell that because they have... they explode into a feather storm, but also they have small particles. But throughout the game, there'll be characters who can't tell if they're an enemy or if they're just a regular bystander. And so you'll need to be able to decide how to interact with people and try and look for indicators. But of course, there's going to be a mechanic of sanity. And as your sanity decreases, which happens whenever you drive long distances, you need to stop off and rest, and your sanity will return. But when you're low on sanity, that's when you need to be really careful, because people might look like they're coming to get you, and in fact they're not. We'll be demoing that. Hopefully later at GDC we'll have plenty of that to show, but at the moment it's the core mechanics of driving, trying to get that feel of that real mechanic, kinetic feel of driving an old-fashioned car where you don't have real suspension and you're just on the road, and they pump out all of the exhaust fumes. Here we are, and now we'll just drive out of the town. Alright, thanks for watching. That's Dead Static Drive.